5th, 2025 in Council Chambers, Sparta Township, Municipal Building, 65 Main Street, Sparta, New Jersey. The time is 7:22. All council meetings are now live streamed and can be viewed at the following link, www.youtube.com/SpartaTWP/streams. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the public and the press on January 10th, 2025 by delivering to the press and posting on the township website a copy of the notice. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Sylvester.
Here.
Councilman Scott.
Here.
Councilman Blumetti.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Murphy.
Here.
Mayor Clark.
Here. All right, let's all rise and salute the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are very pleased tonight that we get to swear in. I no longer have to call him councilman-elect. He's officially a councilman. So I think at this moment, we will go ahead and do the swearing in. And I see he's got his family here. We have Assemblyman Ganamort here. I pronounced it right this time. Yes, all right. Fantastic. So let's get the festivities underway.
Mayor, if I can, I just want to thank you very much and the council for allowing me to join you tonight.
Sure.
It's very special. I'm Mike Ganamort, proud to represent Sparta in the state assembly. Especially because this is my hometown. This is where I grew up. I wish I knew the marching band was coming. I was a member of the Sparta High School marching band, and I liked it so much. I'm very drumming. 15th wedding anniversary. So I will come visit another time with a proclamation for that. But tonight's about our new councilman, Mike Sylvester. Mike, do you have some family members that you'd like to have up here? Okay.
Ryan, 3.
Come on up, gang. Do you want this? Yeah. Go on this side, because you're gonna put your left hand on the Bible, you're gonna reach your right hand. We're gonna get this right, okay? So we'll take our time. How do we look, guys? Can everybody see Mike? We need to see this beautiful little girl. So let's turn out a little bit this way. Even better. Okay. Here we go. Okay.
Stephanie. There you go.
You're gonna say your name when I take a pause. I
Sylvester,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
and the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of councilman
of the office of councilman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Councilman.
Thank you. Thank you.
Blocking my view.
Oh, sure.
Just take one more picture. Yeah.
Oh, this
Yes, please. Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Shake hands, please. That's it. Gotta get a shot like that. Awesome. Thank you. On your way.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate it. Mayor, thank you. Mark, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. you, Michael.
Okay, well, welcome. We look forward to working with you. All your background and experience, I think you're going to make a fantastic council person, and let's get to work.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the fun part. It's not always going to be this fun, but these are the fun ones. The proclamations, particularly here, where we are celebrating a state championships. That is a very hard thing to do in anything. I mean, there's 427 high schools in the state of New Jersey. Probably most of them have a marching band. But what they don't have is a state championship marching band. But you know who does? We do. All right? Congratulations. Tonight, we get to honor them, and so I get to read this proclamation. And then I know that we'll have Scott Tomlin, who's will be here to the head director to accept the proclamation, but also all the kids who are here who earned that state championship. Please come forward at the appropriate time to make sure you get your picture taken. So here's the proclamation. Whereas the Township of Sparta has a long-standing tradition of supporting excellence in the arts and celebrating the achievements of its students, and whereas the Sparta High School marching Spartans demonstrated extraordinary talent, dedication, and perseverance throughout their 2025 season, culminating in winning the USB Band's Group 3A New Jersey State Championships, the first state title in the program's history. And whereas the Marching Spartans 2025 program, London Calling, earned acclaim across the competition circuit, including hosting the 5th annual Spartan Showcase on September 13th, welcoming 10 bands from across the state, first place in a sweep of all caption awards at the South Brunswick on September 27th, second place Best Music Performance and Best Percussion at West Milford on October 4th, second place and Best Percussion at the Ludwig Muzzer Classic at MetLife Stadium on October 18th. First place at Vernon on October 25th, winning Best Music, Visual Overall Effect, and Percussion, with the Color Guard finishing in second place. First place in Group 3A at the State Championship at Mount Olive on November 1st, with a score of 89.4, earning Best Music, Overall Effect, and Percussion, with the Color Guard placing first in achievement and second overall in Group 3A. And whereas the season was dedicated to the memory of Lori Tomlin, longtime Color Guard instructor, mentor, and beloved member of the Marching Spartans family, whose legacy continues to inspire students and staff. Whereas the Marching Spartans have been invited to perform at the New York Jets home game on December 28th, a prestigious opportunity that reflects their excellence and growing recognition. And whereas the success of the Marching Spartans is a result of the students' tireless efforts, the leadership of band director Andrew Lopez, and the unwavering support of dedicated parents and families whose behind-the-scenes contributions help bring pride and unity to the community through the power of music, teamwork, and school spirit. Now therefore be it resolved that the Township Council of the Township of Sparta hereby extends its heartfelt congratulations and best wishes to the Sparta High School Marching Band for their outstanding accomplishments during the 2025 season, and encourages all residents to join in celebrating their historic success. So congratulations, everyone. Fantastic achievement.
Wow.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you, sir.
Feel free to say a few words about the season if you want. You don't have to.
You said it all.
Okay,
All right.
fantastic. Sure. All right, great job, everyone. And I assume you guys are already practicing for next year,
We're
right?
ready to go.
Yeah, well, you got a bullseye on your back, so keep practicing.
All right.
Congratulations, y'all. Very good job.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it feels so important.
I must say, being a Spartan myself, when I was there, we didn't win it. We didn't win any prizes. Congratulations, y'all. I know what it takes. That's awesome. Oh, that was quick.
Okay, so we know we do not have any minutes to approve tonight, so that brings us to the manager's report. So Mr. Zepp, could you please present us with the manager's report?
Absolutely. Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, council members, newly elected Councilman Sylvester, and all Sparta residents. Whether you're here with us or watching from home, we're glad you're with us tonight. I'd like to start my report by congratulating our municipal court staff member, Kimberly Berghofer, for completing the Principles of Municipal Court Administration classes and for achieving accreditation as the Deputy Court Administrator for the Shared Municipal Court of Sparta Township and the boroughs of Hamburg and Ogdensburg. Kimberly began her career as a part-time violations clerk with our court in May of 2024. Not having any court experience, this was a very challenging position, but our court administrator, Bonnie Messina, recognized her talents and professional qualifications necessary for the position and was promoted to full-time shortly thereafter. Kimberly successfully completed levels 1 through level 4 as required by the New Jersey court rules. She has become an invaluable asset to the court operations, and we wish her best of luck for her continued success. As colder temperatures become more common, the water utility reminds residents to ensure their pipes and water meters are insulated from freezing. Be sure to have your outside hose bibs and lawn sprinklers properly winterized for the season. With winter approaching, our Parks and Recreation team is busy preparing for the upcoming season. The winter brochure is now available, and registration for winter 2026 programs is open for Sparta residents starting December 10th and non-residents starting December 17th. We encourage everyone to take advantage of these offerings and join in on the fun. Starting December 1st, families can register with the Recreation Department to have their children receive a call from Santa this season. All requests must be received by December 12th. If you're feeling festive, there's still time to sign up for the Holiday Home Decorating Contest. Registration closes on December 5th. Santa will be visiting Station Park on Saturday, December 6th, arriving by fire truck at 1 p.m. Families can enjoy live entertainment, hot chocolate and popcorn, write letters to Santa, and receive free digital photos of their visit. Donations for the Sparta Community Food Pantry will be accepted during the event, which runs from 1 to 3 p.m. Our Parks Department has been hard at work wrapping up fall sports and conducting seasonal cleanups to keep our facilities in top shape. For our seniors, the last fall book swap will take place at the Sparta Senior Center on Wednesday, December 10th. The Sparta Library staff will be on hand to exchange books, so please bring your Sparta Library card if you have one. To celebrate the holidays and ring in the new year, the annual Senior Appreciation Holiday Party is scheduled for December 30th at the Senior Center from noon to 2:30 p.m. Registration is required and seating is limited, so please reserve your spot early. Enjoy great food, music, and joyful company. Tickets are $15 a person. The Sparta Township Free Rabies Clinic will be held on Saturday, January 24th, 2026, with a snow date of Saturday, January 31st, 2026. The clinic will be from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sparta Public Works Building at 15 Prices Lane. Dogs are from 1 to 3 and cats are 3 to 4. Lastly, municipal offices will be closing at 3 p.m. tomorrow and will reopen on Monday, December 1st at 8:30. This concludes my report. On behalf of myself and the township staff, we wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Chief McCarrick will now present his portion of the report.
Thank you, Manager Zepp. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. First, I'd like to welcome Councilman Sylvester. On behalf of the Police Department, we look forward to working with you. And as I did with all council members, I'd like to invite you to the department for a tour and to see what the operations are, daily. You could do a ride along. I know we're still trying to schedule a ride along, but you just let us know when. But it's important that we work together, and we're looking forward to it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. This past Sunday, the police department took place in organizing its annual Thanksgiving Cram the Cruiser food drive at the Stop and Shop. Our officers were there collecting donations for 5 hours and were able to collect a fully enclosed trailer of donations, which was taken to the Sussex County Food Pantry, also with $407 in cash. I would like to thank Sergeant Scott Elig and Officer Paul Wenzel for organizing this event, as they have every year. And thank you to the Stop and Shop for hosting, and all the officers from the police and the police department employees, Sparta High School Criminal Justice Club student volunteers, Sussex County Community College Club Criminal Justice Club student volunteers for taking their time out of their schedules to come and assist with this food drive. As I mentioned last meeting, a reminder, the turkey trot, Thanksgiving morning, there's going to be delays in the area in the plaza. It's expected to close around 6:30 and will be open usually around 11:30 or once it's safe to do so. And again, as I mentioned last meeting, I did submit our emergency operations plan to the county and state, which has been approved by both county and state, signing off, approving the plan, which is good for 2 years. It's important for emergency operations. Our first responders need to be best prepared as we can. And my deputy coordinator, Thomas McIntyre, and I consistently work together with all our first responders to do just that. Last thing, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence for Mr. John Durcott, who passed away last Thursday. Mr. Durcott was a staple in this community for many, many years, a friend to many of us, past VFW commander and a Korean War vet. If I could ask for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. We'll miss you, John. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief McCarrick. May I have a motion to accept the manager's report?
I move to accept the manager's report.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The manager's report is approved. We are now up to our first public comment period. This has to do with items that are not on the agenda. So if you see something on the agenda you want to talk about, now is not the time. This is to discuss items that are not on the agenda. Please be mindful of the 5-minute limit. And also, please state your name and address for the record.
Hello, my name is Dan Chiarello. I'm a resident of Sparta, and I'm joined by a couple of former council members, and I'm here to wish our new council member well. I also contacted a couple of others who couldn't be here for various reasons, but they all share the same sentiment to wish you well. And I'm hoping that this is something that we can do every time a new council member is sworn in. Sorry for my voice. And then speaking for myself, I'd like to give you two other special wishes. First off, there's plenty of mistakes and things I did wrong while I was sitting in your position. I really like that corner, by the way. So I wish that you can build upon or improve upon the things that I couldn't do very well. And secondly, if the things that I could do well, I hope you can improve upon and keep those going forward. So again, congratulations and good luck serving your community. Okay. Thank you.
Rick Finkel, Sparta, New Jersey. Again, Michael, congratulations on your election and good luck. This is really more of a question for Jim, I think. I'm looking to there's a lot of frustration on the people that live up on Sparta Mountain, specifically around the gas line and the traffic havoc that has been causing for the last 70 days or so. Can you give us an update on where we are? It seems to be a daily routine where we're constantly being stopped on Glen Road, East Mountain Road. You get to Lower Glen Road, there's traffic interruptions. Then there was Main Street with the curbing. One day it was on East Mountain, then it was on Woodport because Planet Network was running wires and they had trucks with someone up in the bucket driving down Woodport Road. So can you give us a timeline of when this is going to be over? I think they're just getting the main line up. They haven't even started connecting houses. We're driving around in ruts from where they dug the line, and I'm just trying to understand how long this frustration is going to last.
One is my last two manager reports, I had extended heartfelt appreciation for the residents' patience and tolerance to all the construction that was going on around town. I can speak for that the Main Street work is done as far as the curb work there. The bucket truck was changing out the banners on the lampposts for the holidays from the Hometown Heroes.
No, this is Planet Network. I think they were running a wire from one side of the street to the next.
All right, that's probably what it was. We have a lot of activity going on, as you stated. I know that the gas line install is coordinated through the county because Glen Road being a county road. They have worked for this. Now, I know the chief can help me on this because the chief and I oversee a lot of this, and we hear a lot of the complaints. There are certain impediments that you just can't get past because all the residents on Glen Road and up on the mountain want gas, and they've made that very
Not
clear.
all of them, because I live up there.
I know, there's a few, but the
I
majority
have
of them
zero
want
benefit
it.
from what they're doing right now.
With that being said, I know that the county has mandated that the work be done at night because they can't do a quality detour of traffic during the day if they were to work during the day. So it's at night that they're putting the main line in. I do believe it's coming to an end soon as far as their phase two. Phase on that. But, you know, I don't want to give you inaccurate information, so I'm going to have to kind of hold it there. I am familiar with that. Roxanne, if we have Mr. Finkel's contact information, I'll make sure I get you some updated information on that. Chief, I don't know if you can add anything to that?
Looks like they finally got under that bridge halfway up Glen Road.
I don't have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, I'll get an update for you on that. I know they're very close to it, and believe me, they know that the residents are frustrated. They're trying to get through. I know they hit a lot of ledge and rock up there by Angelo on Glen Road there, and it slows them down. They've actually asked to work through some of the winter, and we actually said, you know, we've had
Do it
enough.
with the conditions.
So I know we've limited authorization on the construction.
Who's paying for all these cops sitting around
They do.
directing traffic? Is that part of natural gas or
They do.
county or? Okay.
Contractor pays.
The contractors do.
And besides improving the infrastructure of the town, is there any benefit for the town for putting the gas through just about every street in the town and
It's
ripping up all
more
the
for the
streets?
residents, lower heating bills.
Okay. There's no 2 cents on every gallon they sell or anything like that?
No, we do work out, well, the county works out their method of asphalt renovation on it. And then when they're on Sparta roads, we have a formula we use where they compensate, and we usually end up repaving the road after they're done.
That's what I want to know. When is that going to happen?
I got to get back to you on that. I
They
don't have it.
they still got to cut into every house, I think, on Glen Road at least.
It's possible. It's possible, but I know that's a lot easier to do than what they're doing now.
All right. Thank you. I'll get you mine.
Well, taller than me, but Jen Rogoff. Congratulations, Mr. Sylvester, and welcome aboard. I am here specifically in reference to the land swap. I have been attending every single meeting that, since this has been brought to our attention, other than the council meeting of November 13th, when I was stuck in LaGuardia Airport and watching online. I directly emailed Mayor Clark at one point in time during this process, asking for transparency from the council, and to see that the resolution was reintroduced when it was not on the agenda is not the type of transparency that I anticipated. I was extremely disappointed. I was disappointed that a member of the community who has been brought forward by the council, Mr. Dykstra, stood here and said, I am speaking for Jen, we're on the same page. We're not. And I don't know if the member of the councils know that the dispute with the property line is not resolved. Mr. Dykstra did provide me, he was correct, he provided me information, graphics, survey information, but what he may not have explained is that there are two different scales that are used. One that is used when you purchase a property and submit that survey to the town of Sparta, and a different set of criteria that's used by the New Jersey Land Trust. So you can't compare apples to apples. He took the time via email to try and go through some of this information with me. He even was kind enough to go on the phone with my husband while he walked the property with his survey wheel. My husband did while Mr. Dykstra was on the phone. And guess what? The numbers didn't add up. So there is still an issue. It's not resolved. I asked that we deal with that before the resolution was moved forward again. And the fact that the council brought it up, introduced the resolution, voted on it again, when you have had members of the community here at every single meeting where any detail was discussed. And the one meeting where it was not on the agenda, it was actually put out to the public, it's not there, so we don't need to be there. There are other issues they're going to discuss. They are important to some members of the community. They weren't the ones that were bringing me here every week, and you were aware, because I never started coming to council meetings until this became an issue. And that's the night that you choose to reintroduce the resolution and vote on it as a council. As a resident, I'm extremely disappointed because I have been honest, professional, and given a lot of my time and energy as well to try and learn as much as I can, because I honestly didn't know anything about land use in the town of Sparta. And I am beyond disappointed to see that that's how the situation was handled. And there's some other residents that are here as well that we came back again because now we know, okay, the resolution has already been voted on and passed. So now the only thing, I don't know what recourse we have, other than to hope that the deed restrictions are put into place that have been promised and that eventually the property line issue will be resolved.
I didn't want to interrupt and make sure you're done because you still have like 2 minutes.
That's fine.
Okay. So what I will say is, I think, as was explained at the October 14th meeting, the November 6th meeting, and the November 13th meeting, issues related to boundaries is something that happens during the deed creation process. What we voted on was simply to start that process. Right, that's all we did. We've explained that on 3 separate meetings, and I think there was an explanation about why it wasn't on the agenda. I think our clerk explained that it wasn't intentional. It wasn't about it wasn't about you. So, if you want the boundary dispute resolved, the way to do it is to allow us to go forward, and that's what we're doing. So I do take issue that we haven't been transparent. I've been transparent from the beginning about what this process involves. All we did on November 13th is to allow us to begin the negotiations. That's all we did. And I think I made, and I think this is what I said at the November 13th, that we will, do our darndest to make sure not a blade of grass of the Rogos property is conveyed to the town. How are we going to do that? We're going to do it by, we will make sure what the proper meets and bounds. This is sort of ordinary, sort of how it works out in these things. So
Any other real estate transaction in the town of Sparta, you need to have that survey submitted to the town prior to moving forward with any of it. So the fact that you've moved forward as a council without that information solidified is disheartening.
okay, I get that, but you also have to understand, as I said there, part of this is we are trying to deliver something that the people of Sparta have said time and time again that they wanted, which is the preservation of open space. So regardless of what happens to this trail, what this beginning transaction does is to deliver what the people have wanted in survey after survey. We had 1,000 people fill out that survey most recently, and the number one priority was to preserve open space. And so when you live in a community, it's important that you try to deliver on the benefits to everyone and not simply acquiesce to the grievances of a few. I'm not saying your grievance isn't well taken. It is well taken. And I assure you that we will do everything in our power to make sure that that goes forward to where you're satisfied that, like I said, not a blade of grass of your property gets transferred. And so I would just respectfully ask that you let us undergo that, understand that we're trying to do the best we can here. And I've admitted that the process could have been explained better at the start, and we will continue to do that.
I didn't know, maybe she didn't hear.
Ms. Roga, I also understand that Mr. Dykstra is going to meet up with you tomorrow to
I'm
go over
hoping
that?
so, yes.
Okay, so hopefully we get some positive progress.
I'm hoping. What was that, Margie, did you?
No, I was saying maybe you did not hear because you were at the airport, then when Roxanne said she hadn't, it was a mistake, she hadn't put it on the agenda.
It wasn't, I didn't have the resolution time.
Your
At the bottom,
communication has been beautiful. I take no,
at the bottom of our agendas, that's why it's a subject to change. Sometimes we have to pull something off. Sometimes we have to put something on last minute. Not necessarily last minute, but as much as notices we can give.
given the circumstances, I don't know what the rush was that it had to be put forth at the meeting when the residents who had expressed concern at meeting after meeting were not present.
I don't believe it was done intentionally, but
No, I would hope not. I would hope
It was
not.
not done, and I think that the public has had, more than ample opportunity to convey and they have. I mean, we took aside, we had 2-hour meeting on this that we live streamed that required a significant amount of logistical work just to make happen. I think, and members of that committee did everything possible to answer people's questions, to be transparent about what the process is. And like I said, we're trying to do a good thing here. We really are. And, are there going to be bumps in the road? Sure. But I would just ask that, people recognize that we're trying to do something to deliver for all 19,000 people in Sparta. And sometimes when we do that, there will be people who disagree with that, who complain about it, and they have every right to. But we're really trying to do our best here. And like I said, the boundary dispute will get worked out. That's why we couldn't work it out if we never went to the contract negotiation process. So that's why we're doing that.
Yeah, I will add too, just as was mentioned last meeting, that this is just the next step. This is not at all guaranteed. This is going through, because all those other details, besides property lines, the protection of the land, there's a list probably this long, they have to get all worked out. So this is just bringing us to the next step. Doesn't mean it's a given, doesn't mean it's going to happen in January, it's just to move the process along.
Yeah. And the Environmental Commission will be involved and along through that entire process?
Yeah, where needed and necessary. Where there's an environmental issue, they'll be read in on it. And we have Christine Dunbar is on our Trails Committee, who's also on the Environmental Commission, who's also on the Planning Board. So just by virtue of her mere presence there, we have, some read-in by the Planning Board and the Environmental Commission.
Yeah, because they didn't seem to know where you were in the process either. So I want to make sure moving forward that they are abreast of each part of this process as it moves forward.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we had discussed the traffic survey actually after the first time I spoke at the council meeting, so I appreciated that information. But then that also would be a further traffic study with introducing that pedestrian traffic now on the other side of West Mountains, it's both sides now. It's a snowball, but okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
thank you.
Okay. Just state your name.
Good evening. I'm Marjorie Castell. I'm a life, well, I have pictures. Am I able to give them to someone so that you folks can see these?
Sure, if you want to approach the.
Oh, I didn't know.
Or you can give them to the
I don't know
chief.
if I'm allowed to
Yeah.
come by you folks or anything. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Marjorie Castell. I live at 353 North Church Road in Sparta. I'm a lifetime resident of Sparta. I'm here tonight because I have a concern regarding a property that borders my farm. I'm concerned specifically that I have not been notified in any way to the enormous activity that has interrupted as far back as October 2024. It has grown to such capacity that the noise level alone has drastically changed our lives. On our once peaceful farm, to date, many more machines, equipment, trailer, etc. have arrived. Dump trucks are continuously dropping loads of dirt. When we built our farm, we went through all the requirements and permits with Sparta Township. I am questioning such a gigantic endeavor would be able to go on without any alert to a neighbor, architecture, agriculture, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. But
Doing just fine.
property.
Doing just fine.
But this has been going on at 809 West Mountain Road, and it's extremely upsetting. I've had the code enforcement out a few times, and now I don't get any response. I haven't gotten any response from the town engineer, which I emailed. And I would like for you folks to give me some sort of direction as to where I might go. And excuse me, but I didn't congratulate. Sorry. So maybe somebody has some input for me?
Sure. First, let me say, I understand why you would be upset. Like, this looks, I mean, your pictures show a rather extensive,
Enormous.
construction going on outside your house. I can tell you, me personally, I have no idea, and I'll be candid with you. I don't know, maybe you have some light you can
I
shed.
have to admit, Mayor, this is the first I've become aware of this. Make sure you leave your contact information with Roxanne.
Absolutely.
I will look into this, and we will get back to you on what's going on here. I'm not aware of this. As you know, we're in the middle of trying to find a code enforcement officer right now, but something like this would get addressed regardless. And you said my town engineer is aware of this?
I emailed him, and he hasn't responded.
All right. Do you know who you emailed?
A Corey?
Stoner?
Would that be right?
That would be
I'm
right.
not
Okay.
familiar with
That's
town.
okay.
I don't spend much
That's all right.
time.
Just go through my office, and we'll address this right away for you. I just need your contact information.
Yeah, I mean, I think, first order is find out, is this subject to an approval from the planning board at some, a lot of times what happens is there'll be an approval that happened years and years and years ago, and they finally get the financing and funding to actually start the project.
They were denied in June.
Yeah, so, okay,
I'm-
yeah, no, I think,
I'm not
that's what I
familiar
would
with
want
all
to know
this.
is who, is this subject to a prior approval and they're just doing work now? Or if it's not subject to approval, then that's another very important issue. But, I'm sorry you haven't gotten answers to what are very important questions to what I know is probably very disturbing to you is you have no idea what's getting built behind your house.
Well, the environment, is the dirt, because all of the dirt that has ever come onto our property, we have sand because we have the equestrians, we have the horses, and every guy that comes into our property has a ticket, and the quarry is always certified. So everything that has ever, we have always played, however you folks want things done. We've hired engineers, whatever projects we've had, we've always done it by the books.
You've done the right thing. We'll get
Yeah.
this addressed.
You
So
bet.
if we can, so you'll give your information and Corey and Jim, we'll get a hold of you.
Yep, you bet. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Thank you. Happy
All
Thanksgiving.
right, thank you, you too.
Thanksgiving.
If I may add to that, if there was enforcement on site, can you get a report
or
Yeah, and
or an update
I
from
would
that
have
as
been
well?
aware of it. So we're definitely going to look into it and
All right, thank you.
I'll let you know.
Hi, Jenny Derrick, step into Sparta. Mr. Zepp, how are you tonight?
Busy.
So landfill update, and I had a question at the last meeting about the land being transferred to an entity, and are we going to be able to, in the land swap to close the landfill, are we going to be able to put deed restrictions on, just as we are expecting deed restrictions to be added to the land that's going to the land conservancy or a land trust? So the first question is.
I'm working on it, on all your questions regarding that. We are making progress, though slow. Doug Dykstra has been a big help. Laura Newgard, who is our environmental scientist, I actually had asked her if she wouldn't mind coming to talk to the council and explain more about the properties that we are using as donation for the wetland mitigation and the trusts that we're using to donate that and to answer your exact questions. It's just, it takes some time and throw the holidays in between it all.
And
But we're
who-
getting there.
Who decided, first of all, that this would be the location that we would make the swap with? And was it negotiated? Because it's a significant number of acres ratio versus what we're doing with the other organization.
It has to do with the quality of the property, the ratio that the DEP uses for the offset, for the compensation of the wetlands. I'm not the environmental scientist, so I really don't want to get into it deeper. However, I will get your answers for those questions with a professional here because I see the concerns and it's understandable. And I do still believe that in the end, it's a win-win for the township because we're finally able to close the landfill and all the property that we're using will be preserved in perpetuity.
Well, that's the concern, is
I
will it
understand
be or
that.
not? Okay, thank you.
Is Jenny?
Hello, everybody. My name is Joe Pasalacqua Senior. I'd like to congratulate you on your victory. I thought the construction on Main Street was done excellent. My company owns 12 buildings in Sparta, 5 of which are on Main Street. The police were exceptional considering the cold weather that you had to deal with. And the construction came out much better. And our company and our tenants are very happy. I hadn't planned on talking tonight, but I just heard so much other stuff. I just wanted to give a different perspective. Sparta's a great place to live, and I wanted to keep it that way. Everyone have a nice Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, any other person wishing to be heard on items not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to the expenditures. Deputy Mayor Murphy, would you please read the expenditures for November 25th, 2025?
Yes, the expenditures for November 25th, 2025 are $6,651,000, not $594,035.
Right, may I have a motion to approve the expenditures of November 25th, 2025?
So moved.
May I have a second, please?
A second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The expenditures for November 25th, 2025 have been approved. We have 3 ordinances to be introduced tonight, and just a refresher on the introduction of ordinances. This is simply to have the ordinances introduced so that they can then move on to a hearing in 2 weeks. And so this township does follow Robert's rules. It's set forth, I believe, in Chapter 2, Section 3, Section 7, that says we do follow Robert's rules. So when you introduce an ordinance, you simply are reading it. You're not discussing it. We're not taking it back to the dais to have a lengthy. That's going to happen in 2 weeks. So just a reminder of that for everyone. However, if there is a public comment period at the very end where you can say whatever you want. And so if people want to talk about one of these ordinances and that, they can. Just don't expect a response from us, because that's kind of deliberating, which is what we're supposed to do in 2 weeks. So that's just a refresher on the introduction of ordinances. So with that caveat out of the way, Madam Clerk, could you please read the title of Ordinance 2520?
An ordinance amending Chapter 2 Administration, Article 11, Taxation and Revenue of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Sparta, amending Section 2-62, 100% disabled veteran tax refunds.
And may I have a motion to introduce Ordinance 2520?
So moved.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Madam Clerk, may we have a roll call?
Councilman Sylvester.
Yes.
Councilman Scott.
Yes.
Councilman Blumetti.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murphy.
Yes.
Mayor Clark.
Yes. So Ordinance 2520 has been introduced. At our next meeting, we will have a hearing on that where the public will be able to comment on it, as well as council to add whatever they want to add to the discussion. Okay, next we have Ordinance 2521. So Madam Clerk, could you please read the title of Ordinance 2521?
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 18 Comprehensive Land Management Code in the Code of the Township of Sparta.
Okay, may I have a motion to introduce Ordinance 2521?
I move to introduce ordinance 25-21.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Sylvester.
Yes.
Councilman Scott.
Yes.
Councilman Blumetti.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murphy.
Yes.
Mayor Clark.
Yes, so Ordinance 22 has been introduced. 21, sorry, it's has been introduced. Again, in 2 weeks, we will have a hearing on that particular ordinance. Madam Clerk, could you please read the title of Ordinance 2522?
Ordinance of the Township of Sparta, County of Sussex, New Jersey, repealing and/or withdrawing Ordinance 25-07 to Ordinance 25-08 and Ordinance 25-09 relating to cannabis zoning, licensing, and taxing regulations.
Okay, may I have a motion to introduce Ordinance 2522?
I make a motion to introduce 2522.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Sylvester.
Yes.
Councilman Scott.
Yes.
Councilman Blumetti.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murphy.
Yes.
Mayor Clark.
Yes, so Ordinance 2522 has been introduced. At the 2 weeks, we will have a vote on whether to adopt 2522. And that does it for the introduction of ordinances. We don't have a hearing on any ordinance. We are now open to the public again. This deals with any of the resolutions. So if you have any comments with respect to the resolutions, please step forward and please provide your name, and please be mindful of the 5-minute period. Yeah, okay, so these, I think council is other than Councilman Sylvester, these are pretty routine resolutions dealing with canceling tax and refunding water payments. And so in light of the sort of what I will call kind of perfunctory nature of these resolutions, I would like to have a motion to approve all the resolutions. So may I have a motion to approve resolution? Oh, okay. Good to see you.
Pete Litchfield, 120 Conestoga Trail.
Sure.
I'm a Vietnam veteran. While I served, thank God, I'm not disabled. I've had jungle rot on my back. It's scarred for life. I had malaria. I have to get checked every 6 months for Agent Orange. I get lead poisoning from Camp Lejeune. And thank God I'm in fairly good health for a 78-year-old man. I just want you to think about what a lot of these people are going through before they get to this stage. I know one gentleman over here, 16 years before he got his disability. He suffered with pain for that many years. Most of you, I don't know if you're in the service or you have relatives that were, but, you know, I think we have to look at this a little closer, and it shouldn't just be a broad brush. I have a friend of mine, he comes to me and he goes, my taxes in Sparta are killing me. They're $15,000. I said, you have 5 kids in the school system. You know, you're living the dream. And here you want to take a couple grand from some guy, because this is easy, this is picking the low fruit. So anyhow, I checked with the state of New Jersey, called the state commander, got our attorney, and I did find out that only 2 towns that he's aware of is Sparta and Linden, New Jersey, that do what you call a look back for a year. Or 2 years. This year, and you go back a year, whatever it is. And as a taxpayer who doesn't have any advantage of not paying taxes, I think we have to look at what is fair for both the service person that went through the hell that they're still going through, and also the taxpayer. I had a friend of mine, lost both of his calves, part of his back. He bought a house in Roseland for $2.3 million, knowing that he wasn't going to pay any property tax. But he suffered his whole life. So, you know, you want to take a little bit of money away from these people. I don't know, maybe you should put something in there. Anybody that moves into the town from this date on that's 100% disabled doesn't get it. It goes from whatever you said here, from this day that they notify you. The people that are here that are still going through the process, maybe give them a second look. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. Like I said, you have people that have 5 kids in the school system paying $15,000 in taxes isn't covering that expense either. Thank you for your time. Have a nice Thanksgiving. Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you. And thank you for all you do.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commander.
Okay, anyone else wishing to be heard on the resolutions? Okay, seeing no one, may I have a motion to approve resolutions 9-1 through 9-7?
So moved.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Resolutions 9-1 through 9-7 have been approved. We are now up to the council liaison updates, and I will start on my far left with Councilman Scott.
On the planning board, recently, that the planning board was canceled. Ms. Celeste Luciano canceled the October 15th and October 17th planning board meetings because she would miss the 2 meetings for her own personal reasons, even though the vice chair offered to conduct the meeting. We're not really sure what happened there. The Municipal Alliance is starting to end their year, and we went over many of the programs that are being done in the county and in the town, and I think that's slowly I'm figuring out what these people are saying at these meetings. Honestly, no idea. I went to the chamber breakfast this morning. It was well attended, and several new companies coming to town. So that was good to see. That's it. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Murphy.
I have no updates, except for the Rev 250. We're kind of pulling things together to start with the tavern talks in January. But as soon as we get things together and you can purchase tickets online, I will let you know. And always check the website, the Sparta Township website. It will also be on there.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Sure, so just a follow-up with Rev 250. For the tavern talks, it will be held at Crow's. There will be a limited number of tickets, obviously, because you can't fit a whole ton of people on there. We're using, I believe, Eventbrite, which is a ticketing service. It took a little extra work to get that done, but we will post that. But it will be kind of first come, first serve. So I think if I recall from our last meeting,
Like
I think
20, 30 tickets?
yeah, like 30 tickets or so that we'll have available. So again, I think that's a wonderful way to kick off the Revolutionary 250 period. Like I said before, Sparta is really at the forefront of this. Some towns are doing it, but we're doing, we're lucky to have the folks that we have on there, and including an award-winning reenactor who will be at the Tavern Talks. In February, we will be having some colonial era music. I will be probably reaching out to some members of the community, business community, because we're looking for someone to host that. I will have that in mind. Obviously, would want the acoustics to be as good as they could, but I'll hopefully by the next meeting I'll know the time, the date, and the venue for that, and I would hope that we'll see whether that's going to be a ticketed item or we can just have everyone come in. So we're still hashing that out. On our trails meeting will be held on December 10th in the township. And we haven't had a meeting since we had that meeting that was live streamed. But that will happen December 10th. As far as I know, no other than Mr. Dykstra having conversations with Ms. Rogoff, there hasn't been any movement on anything else. With respect to the trails, our film committee met last week. I am happy to report that the county now has an official film ready and committee, and Sparta was lucky enough to have a representative on that. So I congratulate Mr. Rob Nicholson from Sparta, who is one of the members of that committee. And so part of what we will be doing going forward is making sure that because there's other towns that have now jumped on board. I think Newton, I think Stillwater is also going to have its own film committee. And now that we have a county, there'll obviously need to be coordination. I know that what the county is trying to do is create a database that has listed town by town, sort of all the pictures and everything. We had done that, Sparta had done that early on in the process, and we just need to share it with the county. But what that enables to do is so that a prospective entertainment production company can look and go through in one fell swoop at one database all the various towns in Sussex County, including Sparta, to have their pictures and everything so they can decide if that's an appropriate location for them. So we're very happy about that. I think it's going to be a very good committee, and I'm thankful that we have the support of our county commissioners who are behind this endeavor. As far as what's the next committee that I'm on? Oh, REC, we're going to meet next week. So we haven't had a meeting in a while, so that is next week. And also Rev 250 will meet again on December 1st. So that meeting will give me more information about upcoming events and tickets and everything. And then if I have more information about the Tavern Talk and how to get a ticket, I will definitely share that. And with that, I do not have any more council liaison updates. So that moves me to Councilman Blumetti.
So update on the Business Development Committee. Our next and last meeting of the year will be the first week of December. We'll be hosting several, so 3 to 4 members of the business community to come in and in an informal setting, share their ideas and experiences in the spirit of how we can best support and encourage business development in the town. We'll have our planning and zoning department director there and possibly another employee. So I look forward to reporting out after that meeting on some of the opportunities and ideas that arise. So.
Will there be a way to share that with the rest of the council about what's discussed at that meeting? Because I know everyone up here is particularly interested, and I know Councilman Sylvester is particularly interested in small business. He made that a key part of his candidacy, and I think it'd be important to share whatever information you have with all of us.
Well, yeah, I expect that. And the purpose of the BDC, it's an advisory committee only, so it can't enact anything, but it's to provide recommendations to the council on either policy or process updates on how we can better serve the community. So, yeah, I plan to give an update myself, but I think following that, if there's any recommendations that we think should be proposals, the council will see that too, to consider.
And what's the date again?
That
the meeting?
is the 4th.
Fourth. And where's it held?
It's here.
Here?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have to talk because there's 2 council members already there, so if,
Okay.
yeah, if anybody else is gonna come, we have to figure out noticing and all that, so we'll
Good
talk
catch.
offline.
Good catch.
That's it.
Okay, you've been on the job for 2 hours. What's the update?
I'll suggest new committee next meeting, I guess. Thank
Well,
you.
we'll definitely look forward to putting you on. There's a lot of great committees that we have, and a lot of great people. I think it's one of the best ways to meet some residents who are engaged and informed and really put the town first. So I look forward to you getting that opportunity to be on those committees. I think you have particular expertise in certain areas that, I think we need to think about where, you could be most useful, and where you think you can be most useful, so.
I agree. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Anyone forget anything? We're gonna move on to unfinished or new business. Okay. All right, any unfinished or new business, and I'll start with Councilman Blumetti.
Just a general announcement, with the new year approaching, if there's any residents that are interested in any of the township boards and committees, now's a good time to start thinking about going online and completing a very simple, brief volunteer application. In there, you can provide a little bit of your background and also select a first and a second choice for boards or committees that you think you might want to be interested in contributing to. So just want to put it out there to start thinking through that as we get towards year end and the beginning of the year. Thanks.
Thank you. That does remind me, I forgot about the Sparta Beautification Committee that we did. We are now an official committee, but we need people to join. So I would reiterate, I think we have gotten some interest. I'm trying to figure that out. And, I would like to kind of start staffing that kind of on a rolling basis. As soon as we have people interested, we can put them on there, as opposed to waiting, because what Councilman Blumetti was alluding to is in January, we have our reorganization meeting. And so what happens at that, we, re-up people who on the committee, we maybe take some people off who haven't shown up to any meetings, and then we staff it with some other people. So I think, but that doesn't stop us now for putting people on a committee. I'd like to get the beautification one started so they can get up and running. So that's sort of my new unfinished business. I also attended the League of Municipalities, a lot of very good, updates on the law, particularly with land use. There was, I think you went to a cannabis one. I did as well. And it was a great way, even though you're exhausted after 3 days. But it was, very well attended. I was glad that Councilman Sylvester could go too and experience, even though he's been to many of them in a professional capacity. So that I don't think I have any other unfinished or new business tonight. You? Councilman Scott, any unfinished or new business? Okay. All right, we are now at the final public comment period of the evening. So this is whatever you want to talk about. So anyone wishing to be heard in the public comment period, please come forward and state your name and mindful of the 5 minutes.
Jenny Derrick's Tap into Sparta. I just want to extend that wherever you are on Thursday, whomever you're spending your day with, I hope you find grace there, and I hope you are blessed with a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Same to you, John.
Thank you.
Hi, folks. Rondé. Congratulations, Mike. At the last meeting, they were talking about the disabled veteran exemption. The question was asked, how much money is really involved here? Did we ever get an answer to that question? I know that you were going to look into it. Are we talking $10,000, $100,000, $1 million? Does anybody know?
I think I can answer that.
Okay, thanks.
As you know, we have this past year, we're up to 19 tax exemptions. The township has a total of 100% disabled vets as of today. Yearly now, and this is based on information that I obtained from our tax collector, is we're up around $200,000 in the look back. All right. Going forward, those veterans are exempt from property tax entirely for as long as they own the property. The look back, which is an optional position that the township, had formalized in 2022, 2021. Thank you, Margie. Roughly right now, it all depends on the size of the property, Ron, and that would dictate the size of the retroactive refund. All right, but generally we're averaging around $200,000. All right, and it's tough to budget. It's you don't know what that number's going to be. So
What period of time?
for a year.
So if I could, and thanks for the information, Jim, that helps me a little bit. You know, when I think of the look back, you know, that's probably like a one-time thing, as opposed to, you know, every year you can come back and you can say, I want the exemption for this year. But the look back, once it's claimed, you don't go back. So I imagine the look back portion would get smaller every year as we get further in, deeper into the program, because people have claimed it up front.
Right, but you continue to take on
On new people.
additional vets. So the past 2 years now, we averaged 18 applications. Sparta is a popular spot.
Yeah.
All right, for various reasons. And recently, just the past 2 meetings, we just approved 7 applications. It's a moving target. I've been advising the council on this for a little while now because it'd be nice to have the money to be able to give this. We just don't have it in our budget. And Ron, do you know where that money gets pulled from?
So here's where you're going to hear a different side from me than you probably heard before. Well, I've always said, you know, got to watch your spending, got to watch the revenues. I don't think taking exemptions away that we've already given to the disabled vets is the place we should be looking at. When I heard Pete Litchfield say that, you know, we're one of two towns in New Jersey. You know, I'm proud to be from Sparta, but when I heard that, I was even prouder. We help our disabled vets. So I know you all can't talk about it tonight, but I'm going to ask that you really think hard before you take that exemption away. There are people out there that need it, or the look back part of the exemption. People out there to look at it, that count on it. And, you know, as speaking for me as an individual, I don't know the stories of what these people went through, but I probably can't even imagine. But as a Sparta resident, my vote is support the disabled vets. Don't take anything away.
Ron,
that-
just to be clear, we're not taking it away from them.
Well, the exemption you take, the
No.
look back.
The 2-year
Yeah,
look
so-
back.
but that's there now.
We're one of 2 towns that do that.
I got you. And-
So however long it takes for the VA to get them approved, which sometimes can be way too long. I've had to deal with them and they're not very quick. But from, once they get approved and the vet comes in and applies to Sparta, they're exempt.
Let me just say one thing, because I want to be mindful of the clock, is,
Sorry.
you know, and I appreciate the conversation. You know, I look back over the last couple of weeks. We approved $100,000 to microfiche some boxes because we don't know where to put them. We approved $500,000 to do a street sweeper, even though the current one's working. But now we're talking $200,000 for a look back that we're trying to use to balance the budget. I just don't believe that's the right place to do it. And that's just my opinion. I'll leave that for discussion next week. So thank you and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Anyone else wishing to be heard for the final public comment period? Okay, seeing no one, just to reiterate what Ms. Derrick said, I hope everyone has a fantastic Thanksgiving, and we all should be grateful that we live in the community that we do and have the family that we have. So I hope everyone gets able to take time to really be grateful and celebrate with their family members over the holiday. And we will see you in 2 weeks, or is it 2 weeks? December 9th.
9th.
Okay. All right, with that, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.